WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
This is
Soulful Inspiration.
It's your girl, Nikki Jones. This will be an hour to feed your soul with music and laughter, information and inspiration. You're listening to WVTC
Detroit.
All designed with you in mind. So sit back, relax, and get ready to join the conversation with me,
Nikki Jones.
Soulful.
Soulful Inspiration.
Inspirations. Yes, sir. Welcome to Soulful Inspirations. I am your girl, Nikki Jones. So excited to see you tonight. It is a happy Tuesday. It's a little chilly for June here in Detroit. Howbie ever. We are here on WVTC Detroit, where we are winning victory through Christ. And we are excited about our guest tonight. We've been experiencing a wonderful month in terms of our shows. This month has just been really, really, really good. So I need you to go back and watch some of the shows from this month and the previous months too. I mean, all of the shows have been really good, but this month has been really, really good. Okay, so I need you to go back and check it out. And I need you to like and share and subscribe right now. Go ahead, go right there, right now. Go right now. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, like, share, and subscribe right now. Why? Because you want to be in the know when we are coming on and the show is happening live right now in the studio. And we are so excited to have our guests here tonight. First of all, I want to welcome back after going on to a camp. She went to camp and she was on vacation. I'm so sorry, but I'm not. Sorry, not sorry. So welcome back our wonderful co-host here, Pastor Denise Thomas. Welcome. Hi. Thank you. How you doing? Hi. So glad to have you back in the building live.
Good to be here.
And in color, okay? Above ground, okay? Seen and not viewed. That is the goal, all right?
Absolutely.
And as you can see, we have a guest next to us. So, in between us. So, before we go to our welcoming guest, we are going to listen to a song. And I believe you're going to see this person while you're watching this song. Okay. Oh my God. You're going to hear this person and you're going to see this person, one of the two or one of the other or both at the same time. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, I want you to sit back and listen to this song called Testimony. Okay, right. Testimony. Anybody got a testimony? Anybody got a testimony? Anybody? Go ahead and play the song. We love you. Thank you.
When I think of what he's done, my soul cries out, thank God I won. Because of his grace, I said I'm still here. And it was my faith that brought me through the years. Said I'm a testimony, yes sir, for what he's done. And I thank the Lord, yeah, I've overcome. Said I'm a testimony. I'm a testimony. Yeah. For what he's done. I thank the Lord. I thank the Lord. I've overcome. I overcome. Anybody out there I'm a testimony. Listening to my voice, you ought to show some sign. I thank the Lord. If you overcome, listen. I could have been there, swimming in my grave. But thanks be to God, He made old death behave. Oh, testimony for what He's done. I really want to thank Him. Oh, Said I'm a testimony. Anybody here know that you're a testimony? He saved my soul. Turn around and made me whole. He brought me out and he made a way. Do I have one witness that can look down the line and think things over? It was nobody but Jesus. Said I'm a testimony. Yes, I'm a testimony. Yes, I'm a testimony. Said I'm a testimony. Said I'm a testimony. Yeah. I said I really wanna thank him. I've overcome. Oh, testimony for what he's done. Thank the Lord. Yes, I know I am. Yes, I know I am. Yes, I know I am. Can I take my time? I wanna tell you about this woman in the Bible days. Sick in her body for 12 long years. One day she heard about a man. He could heal the sick, y'all, and he could raise the dead. 5,000 hungry souls that he fed. I said, yes, I'm a testimony. I said, yes, I'm a testimony. I said, yes, I'm a testimony. Oh, testimony. Then finally, she got to where Jesus was while he was rolling through the town. And that woman said to herself, yes, she did. Listen, she said, if I could just touch. She said, if I could just touch. The hem of his garment. Yes, I'll be made whole. Yes, I'll be made whole. Say I'm a testimony. Say I'm a testimony. Yeah. Thank the Lord. I've overcome. Oh, testimony for what he's done. 'Cause I thank the Lord. A testimony. Yes, I am. I could have been dead and gone, sleeping in my grave, but he touched me one more day. He touched me one more day. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen. I love quartet music. I love it.
We know.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I love I love Young Men for Christ. I am a fan, and I am just excited that we have a wonderful guest here in the room, in the building, in the personage. I don't know why people say that. In the personage of
Why you say it?
because
they
it sounds good. Because they said it. In the personage of Franklin Mcgee.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you all?
Frank
Yes.
in the building.
Yes.
Dr. Frank is in the building.
Yes.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I am good. And we are excited that you are here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Listen, I'm a fan. I am a fan. I'm going to tell you when I became a fan.
Uh-oh.
I became a fan in 2020.
Yes,
During the pandemic.
Okay.
They still had the festival downtown.
Yes.
At Hart Plaza.
Yes.
And I was down there, and I saw you. I saw Young Men for Christ for the first time. That was my first time seeing you all perform. And man, I was down there, and everybody was losing their mind. Y'all sung one song for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's standard.
Yeah, that's
It's the standard.
Yeah.
I need you to understand that it's the standard.
Tell us a story.
It's
Take
the
us on a trip.
Come on. We're going to tell you all the stories in the Bible in one song. Okay. That's what we're going to do. But listen, I was so into it. Just the energy of the music is storytelling, and it makes you remember what you're praising God for. It makes you remember the testimony. It makes you remember the experience that you're going through. Why? Because people are singing it, and that there's a feeling in the music. There's a drive in the music, and because of that drive, it invokes a response for you to physically get involved.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the music. It's about you physically getting involved. You cannot, if you can listen to quartet music and be still, I venture to say something's wrong.
Get that beat going.
You gotta do something. It's got to be in your shoulders.
Yeah.
You got to be in your hand, or just like us when we were sitting here, all of us was bouncing. Got a testimony. I mean, we were all bouncing, and it's instinctive. Why? Because it's the music, and the music carries the message. And so I'm just excited about what you guys do. And before I had got all excited and stuff like that, I'm gonna go ahead and read this bio. Because I need people to understand that you're not just a young man singing for Christ. I mean, you got some other stuff going on.
Yes,
and all this stuff is for Christ. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So let me go ahead and read this bio. Frank Mcgee, born and raised in the city of Detroit, Michigan. He is the third, the only son, and the eldest of three younger sisters. God bless your heart.
Yeah, we gotta talk about
that. Frank began his career at the age of 7 while enrolled at the Winans Academy of Performing Arts. Frank has had lead roles in several notable productions like Annie, The Wiz, Aladdin, and A Raisin in the Sun. He was part of the Mosaic on Stage program and America's Got Talent winners, the Detroit Youth Choir. Yes. Frank is classically trained and able to sing in other languages. He attended the Detroit School of Arts, DSA, yay, where he perfected his craft vocally with Miss Cheryl Valentine, and had the opportunity to perform for the former First Lady Michelle Obama and Sir Sidney Poitier, rest in peace, as well as performing for 2 weeks in South Africa.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. Currently, Frank is the lead singer of the 2021 Stellar Award-winning gospel quartet group Young Men for Christ. Frank has shared the stage with Regina Bell, Donald Lawrence, Crystal Rucker, Lillian Lloyd, the Canton Spirituals, Lisa Knowles-Smith, and more. In 2021, Frank launched his King L3 Entertainment, which caters to new entrepreneurs, developing artists, music, and film and production, and an exclusive brand clothing line called Lavish Luxury Looks.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a lot.
So what you doing with your life?
There it is.
Right. So tell us, who is Frank Mcgee outside of all this stuff we just read?
Franklin DeLance Mcgee is my name, the third. Shout out to my father. He's watching as well, and my family and friends that are watching this evening. But yeah, I am a 24-year-old young man, born and raised in the city of Detroit. Grew up singing ever since I was a little kid. That's all I knew. They would tell me to go sit down, be quiet. You keep singing. But I wouldn't stop. And, it paid off in the long run.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I'm just grateful and thankful just for what God has brought me, where he's brought me from, and where he's taking me, what he's getting ready to do in my life. I'm just blessed. I'm thankful, and I'm grateful.
You're just grateful.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you. Just the gratitude.
Yes.
So, okay. So you're looking at another PK. Okay. So growing up in church, you really didn't have a choice. You was going to be there, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, and then you also have 3 sisters under you.
Yes.
And so you're the only boy child in your family, correct?
Yes.
So what was the experience for you in actually coming to Christ on your own? So because that's different for everybody.
Right.
So what was your experience with that?
Well, for me, growing up in church, that's what I did every Sunday. Growing up when you're younger, sometimes it becomes like, not to say tradition, but a thing you have to do it. You're made to do it because that's how your parents and your family is brought up, and that's what they taught you. But learning Christ on my own was definitely something I wanted to have and wanted to do because, without Christ, who are we? What can we do? And I felt like having Christ in your life and having Christ in my life has been a blessing because, when you stay and stick on the road that God has placed you on, he'll take you to where you need to be.
Yes.
And I strongly believe in that. And I'm grateful for my grandmother, Janice Mcgee, shout out to her, for instilling that in me because she taught me that with God, all things are possible. And she just made sure I stayed on track of myself, even not in just church and a spiritual realm, but more so in the life and being as a young man, just making sure that your responsibilities are taken care of and making sure that, your priorities in place and, making sure you're being an example for your siblings, my sisters, because I do want them to follow up and, have some work with with their talent, because I feel like God has blessed us all with the talent.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's what we have to be able to continue to lean on and just go forth in, because that's what God has blessed us with. And I believe if he's blessed you with it, he has a purpose for it. So yes.
So did you ever come to a point where everything that you had been taught, where there was an experience, where you had an experience that caused you to say, okay, this is what I'm going to believe. I know we had to do it. I know this is what mama says, what daddy says, what grandma said, but now this experience has caused me to really believe
absolutely
what I'm,
Take
what
us
I've been
to that
taught.
moment.
Yeah, absolutely. There's things in life that we all go through, whether it's personal or however you want to call it. But there's been several times I had to really lean on God, because there are things I had went through on my own that I couldn't go to mother, I couldn't go to dad, I couldn't go to my grandmother, anybody. I had to learn how to depend on God for myself.
Okay.
And in those situations, it made me closer to God, because I had no choice but to be, because I had to lean on him and depend on him. And whether it was, I'll say this. As a young man, I haven't experienced really hardships like that.
You ain't been homeless out
Exactly.
no shoes. You ain't singing about no shoes.
I'm from a perspective of being a young man where God is blessing me, and I'm grateful, like I said. But yes, I'm still growing. I'm growing and learning God for myself each morning, every day. And, I'm just ready for, whatever comes my way and whatever God brings to me.
Yes.
And, I'm still, like you said, I'm going to have that struggle, not so more so yet.
Yeah.
But, if I believe that when it comes, I'll be prepared. I'll be ready, because what God has blessed me with, what my family has instilled in me.
Yes.
And, and I feel like I'll be able to take it.
You gonna take it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to take it. God gonna keep you.
Yes,
even when you don't want to be kept.
There it is. Yes.
Preach, mother.
Yes. I go in and out of mother mode, so you have to excuse me. Sometimes I go in and out. But I always like to hear what a younger person's experience is, because a lot of times people think that young people just do it because that's what they do. But no, they have experiences too.
Yeah.
They have struggles, even though it might not be financial struggles. It could be interpersonal struggles. It could be outside influence struggles. So it can be peer pressure struggles. I mean, peer pressure today is nothing like it was when I was in my early 20s or early
we
teens.
We don't even want to go back to me, but it's just
it's just totally different, and I want people to know that people your age have their own struggles, have the things that they go through that have them encounter God in a different way.
Absolutely.
And put you on a road to understanding him more and more as an individual, not as a collective in the family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I know you grew up in church, but so tell me, what was your defining moment when you said, I'm going to do this for a living. I'm going to sing for a living, in terms of, being an artist and with Young Men for Christ, or even before that, when it, because I did all of this too.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. I was in the Wiz. I was in plays and stuff like that. And, but there came a point in my life where I had to decide, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. So when was that point for you?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm singing in the genre of music of quartet. I wouldn't say they consider it in the bottom of the barrel, but in a way they do, because there's different genres of music that have came along, for contemporary hip hop, Christian music, or whatnot. And being honest, all quartet groups starting off paid. They don't get paid. They don't get paid, and that's any genre of music, honestly. And that's being real 100. So there were years. There were years that I didn't get paid. The group got paid, but I didn't.
Oh, wow.
The musicians got paid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. And I had to look at that perspective. And I didn't look at it money. I did. I'll say this. At a point in time, I did look at it from a money perspective. I felt like, why are they doing this? Why are the musicians getting paid? But I had to look at the bigger picture. The platform that God has blessed us on and blessed us with, the Stellar Awards, the Dove considerations, the Grammy consideration, the awards, the Rhythm of Gospel. Those things are, I feel like those pedestals or those platforms is what's taking me to what I believe God is going to be able to keep me longevity.
Gotcha.
If you understand what I'm saying. So I had to make my decision like this. I can't stop, because I've come too far. I've accomplished so much in my age, at a young age, and I know that God has more for me. And if this is where I'm steady elevating and steady thriving in, just keep doing it, because God has something bigger, and I believe that.
Because the quartet genre it's not expanding as much as in the past.
Yeah.
The Mighty Clouds, the Blind
Absolutely.
Boys, the Southern.
Mhm.
And so now it's really kind of wide open.
Yes.
And you can influence other young men
Absolutely.
when they hear it,
Yeah.
because it's
And older ones too. I'm
Yeah.
influenced. I'm doing auditions in a couple of weeks for quartet members. So if you want to be a
I'm doing
quartet
the
member,
drums. I got that pocket.
You gotta stay in the
I
pocket.
can keep that
You gotta
pocket.
stay in
I
the
can do
pocket now.
drums.
Absolutely. And I'll say this as well. Young men have came to us saying, "Wow, that's you. You was on that stage," and little things like that.
Yeah.
And even watching with my siblings, watching them following me, watching me, they see me as an inspiration. They've told me they see me as this role model. My sister that lives in California in ALE, she tells her friends at school, my brother's famous. He's a celebrity. He's been on this and that. So little
That's
things
cool.
like that. It helps uplift me and
Yes.
it helps motivate me to keep going, because I'm like, really, I'm not a celebrity.
You got to keep going, because them
But
sisters gonna stay in your pocket.
Yeah.
They're gonna stay
They
in
sure
your
are.
I
pocket.
haven't even went to high school yet. So
Yeah,
Wow,
and then you
under
got,
sixth
you know,
grade.
because you got the clothing line, so
Yes.
they understand.
Yes,
They're gonna be in your pocket.
Yes,
Now you know what?
absolutely.
That's one thing about quartet groups that I appreciate. Like Sandy was saying earlier, that a lot of times we recognize quartet groups because they're all dressed alike.
Right.
So when they all come in the sanctuary or they come in the
But just
concert
don't put
hall,
on
you
one
can
that-
look at them.
Don't put on one of the Pee Wee Herman sisters. Don't do that Pee Wee
They
Herman
be all
sisters.
dressed alike and stuff. So is that where the idea came from for your clothing line?
No. Well, honestly, I've always had growing up, I watched a lot of celebrities or people or my family. My grandmother was very fashionable too.
Okay.
So yeah, we always
Wow.
stayed in Macy's on Saturdays.
What
or-
time?
yeah.
They
Yes.
was in Macy's.
Marshall
Macy's.
Fields. Marshall Fields back in the day. So yes,
Got
I
it,
heard
got
my
it.
great grandmother every Saturday we were going out to the mall and doing something or buying clothes, and that's the reason why I don't
Oh,
have
wow.
a room in my closet now.
I know.
So,
Wow.
yeah, but for the
Pray,
clothing line,
pray.
yes,
I know. I get
yes.
it.
So the clothing line definitely came from that, and just something I wanted to be representation of me, and show the diverse style. I'm not always in suits, so I dressed down a little bit.
We can see. We can see.
So
Yeah.
just catering to younger people like my age that or that are fashionable, and later down the line, hopefully I'll be able to have custom suits and stuff like that. Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So right now, what do you offer on the luxurious?
Well, L3, so it's lavish, luxurious looks. So my name is Lance III, Franklin DeLance Mcgee III. So L3 is what stands for lavish, luxurious looks.
Gotcha.
And pretty much when I started it last year, 2021, it was definitely more so sweatshirts with the lavish L3 logo on it, and jogging suits. I have one at the house I should have worn. But yes, that and I'm bringing it back very soon. Do something different.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what, but it's in the works. It's in the works.
Okay.
All right. All
When
right.
you have a little free time.
Yes, I'm gonna bring y'all some.
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. So now you are branching out a little bit from Young Men for Christ,
Mhm.
and you've gotten you started you have your own CD or your own project. Is it a
Yes.
whole project or is
Not
it
yet.
just okay?
In 2021, I released my first single, official single entitled "Make Me Better."
Okay.
And that was done. I never really followed through with it because we were in the midst of the pandemic, so I wasn't really able to do as
Okay.
much as I wanted
Gotcha.
to. So
Plus you're probably touring.
yes.
Yeah.
So this year in May this year, of course, I did my first live recording. So that was
Nice.
really well.
Yes, I heard about that. I couldn't make
Yes.
it, but I had to miss that. But yeah.
Yes, it was a holiday weekend, so yeah, but it was really great. This new phase in my life, I wanted to show something different. People are so used to singing quartet. I've been doing it since I was 12.
Oh wow.
So I wanted to do something different. Not only, like I said in the bio, but not only do I sing quartet, but there's different genres of
Yes.
styles of music that I sing. So I wanted to try those different things and not be afraid,
There you go.
and just jump out on faith and and see what I can do and see what happens and see where
See
God
what
takes
doors
me.
open.
Absolutely, and see where this takes me.
All right. So you doing gospel in Spanish or no?
Look, Spanish was not my subject. Look, I just
it was
knew how
Italian.
to.
I think it was Italian and French.
Yeah, it was Italian and French. Yes, I did that in high school at Detroit School of Arts. I was able to do that. I did Michigan. I forgot what it's called, but it's called MSVMA, where I had to do the choral piece, the
Yes.
Italian piece,
Yes.
and I had to do that and I could score superior.
All
So
right.
yeah, it was a good experience. Shout out to Miss Valentine at DSA. Yeah, it was a good experience.
Now, what age were you when you were at Marvin Wine Academy?
I was there from K through 9, so that's 5 to about 14.
All right, I want to read you something.
Yes.
That you wrote.
Yes. Okay.
When you were going to Marvin Wine Academy.
Yes, I'm able to say it with you.
You said, I'm a confident world changer who is highly organized, dedicated, and eager to learn.
Yes.
A hardworking, focused young man, focused on achieving excellence with enthusiasm.
Yes.
I'm adding that. I'm adding that enthusiasm. With enthusiasm and a strong desire to meet new challenges and quickly understand new concepts. I enjoy working with people and providing outstanding service. I am looking, and you're going to talk about. Do you remember writing that?
I don't. I'm not even going to. I don't. But where did you find that?
That's on. I'm doing my little investigation, my little research.
She does her research.
Okay.
That's why I be having her on here. She finding stuff that I don't even know about.
Absolutely.
And your goal was to have a position within a company where you can grow a career and have the opportunity to grow and advance to more challenging roles. And when I read that, I thought how awesome it is to be walking, into your destiny and to know your destiny back then. Like we just never knew. For me, it was all about surviving.
Right.
Can I just get enough to eat? Can my mama not beat me tonight?
Can I just make it out the house?
Yeah, can I just? And so to read this and to know that you had this mindset,
absolutely,
that's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
It is.
Ever since I was a child, I knew I wanted to be something. I don't know what it was, but I wanted to be something. I wanted to be able. My goal was always to take care of my family and take care of those I love, and just to make sure that they don't worry. I wanted to be able to one to just make sure I was able to provide, and that's still a goal of mine. I'm still going to be able to get there. I know I'm going to get there eventually. It's the groundwork you have to work on.
Absolutely.
But yes, it's going to happen eventually.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
24, huh?
Yeah.
24 and
24.
knows and very confident. So what we want to do now is we want to play your single. So I want you to introduce it. You can talk about if you like before we play it, what brought you to that particular single. Did you write it?
Make Me Better?
Yes.
I wrote Make Me Better. That was done in 2000. I actually wrote it a long time ago. Sometimes as young men, we go through certain things in life, we sometimes, like you said, peer pressure. And, people around us try to make us do certain things or do this or do that. But I had to ask God to make me better in my mind, in my thinking, and make sure that I'm on the right track, make sure that there's nothing in the way or anything that's blocking me that can hinder me from where you want me to be. So I just simply ask God to make me better.
All right, let's listen to Make Me Better.
Make me better.
Search me, oh God, and cleanse my heart from things that shouldn't be. Renew your strength within me and give me more grace just to run this race. Please don't ever let me go, 'cause with you, Lord, I will uphold. So please make me better. Make me better. Make me better. Make me better. Yeah. I know you can. Make me better. Strengthen me, Lord, and make me better. I know you can. I know you can. You knew my past, the good and the bad. When things seem to weigh me down, Lord, you said that I'm your child, and you won't put more on me than I can bear. Oh, I've come to a conclusion. You're my only solution. There's no one else to turn to. So yes, I'll give my life to you. Oh, make me better. Oh,
fade out. I like the fade out. That's a wonderful song. I hear your heart when you're singing it. I can
Especially
hear.
since he explained before he
Yes,
started what
yes,
it's about. Then you can
Yes,
hear it.
I can hear your heart
Mhm.
while you were singing that song, and I hear your prayer, because that's what it is.
Yes,
actually, it's actually a
absolutely.
prayer
Yeah.
to the Lord to to make you better. So what is next for you outside of Young Men for Christ? I know you haven't, you released this song in 2021.
Yes.
So are you working on new music now?
Yes. So hopefully my single will be out in August.
Okay.
And I'll be able to debut it to the world.
Yay.
I'll be doing the Ribs and Soul Fest at Heart Plaza
Okay.
Okay.
on August.
As a solo artist?
As a solo artist.
Okay.
So yes, that is my first live event or whatnot. So that's gonna be good. You'll be able to hear some new stuff from there and make
From
me
the
better.
live recording?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great.
And just things in that nature. And going back to school.
Good.
I was back enrolled last year, so I'm going back in the fall to get my degree with business entrepreneurship and marketing. So yeah,
Okay.
so I'm working on a lot of things so I can make sure that the company things are on. So
right. Got to get your business straight.
Don't have somebody else handling that money. You want to handle it yourself.
At least know what they're talking about.
Exactly. So yeah, those things. I'll be doing some singing and touring with Young Men for Christ as well. But yeah, just that's definitely my focus right now. Just making sure that Frank is in line and making sure Frank is good. That's definitely a priority for me right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say that there's certain churches where you feel more received than others?
I feel like that's everybody. Yeah, in a way, yes. But I feel like everybody's different. Everybody's not going to receive you. So I've come to accept that and realize it, because everybody doesn't like my style of singing. I don't fit everybody's boat, or whatever how you want to say it. So I'm fine with that. But I would say there are some places and some venues or whatnot that
Oh, yeah.
I'm that way.
There's a following.
Yeah.
There's a following.
Yeah.
There's a following
Yeah.
for quartet music.
Yeah.
There's a following for
Absolutely.
that kind
Yeah.
of music.
Yeah.
Now, normally we have to pay for extra time, during the concerts. We got to pay.
Well, we need that 20 minutes.
We need that extra hour.
We
You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
the A&B selection is not just
we got to get the
A&B.
story out. We got to tell the
Okay,
story.
you gotta finish the
Okay.
whole.
We gotta
You got to do the whole thing. You got to do the whole, and you got to make sure they take off at least one article of clothing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You got to take the jacket off.
Yeah.
If they didn't take the jacket off, they didn't really get into the
Okay.
song the way they
Absolutely.
needed to get a
Right.
song. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make
Or
sure
a
you give
wrap
them
of the
time
tie.
for all of that.
Get your tie out.
Got to loosen your tie.
Yes. Yes.
So, what has been your favorite moments with Young Men for Christ, and in terms of the chemistry you guys created? Because there's a chemistry that you have to have.
Absolutely.
And doing quartet music, you have to. And how long did it take to build that chemistry?
Well, yeah. So we've been singing. We'll be celebrating 11 years this coming Sunday.
11 years.
Yes,
Wow.
11
Wow.
years. So that chemistry has built up from a long period of time, starting with my father, my uncle, and my cousin. Us four are basically the original four. And my uncle and my father come from a quartet history of
Okay.
yes. My father played piano, and also as a producer as well. Shout out to my dad. He produced our first album, and also wrote material from our first
Frank
album.
Jr.
as well.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Franklin McGee Jr. And my uncle Eric was the Joe Jackson of the group.
Because every group got one. I'm
Joe
gonna
Jackson.
tell you.
Yes, and still to this day, still Joe Jackson. Yes, and keeps us in line. And also shout out to Lavelle as well. Nero, they call him the Barry Gordy.
Yes,
so
he
yes.
managed my brother.
Okay.
He managed my brother.
Yes. So yes, that foundation, they make sure that we're still in line, because us as well, we're still young men. We're all under 30.
Mhm.
The rest of some of us, yeah, but majority of us are under 30. So they keep us in line and keep us our focus right.
Mhm.
And that chemistry come for us not only just singing together, but we have a brotherhood. We're all
Okay.
family.
That's
Honestly,
important.
yes,
That's important.
we
That's
are.
important.
Yep, we're all family.
That's important.
And we don't just sing together. We eat together. We break bread together.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not just when we're singing. We sing all the time, but we sing when we're around at each other's houses or whatever. So it's not always just singing, but it's also just fellowship with each other.
Yeah.
So you guys have an accountability to one another also.
Absolutely.
Additionally, that's
Yes,
important.
we talk on the phone all day.
Yeah.
We talk on the
Yeah.
phone
Y'all got
all
a
day.
group chat?
Yes, we were on there earlier trying to find this last minute stuff for the anniversary. So yes, we just have that bond, and that's how I feel like we're able to thrive like we do. And not saying
That's
that it's
good.
always
That's good.
easy. You know, we bump heads all the time because you know
Yeah.
we're all men.
That's real. That's just real
Yes,
life. It's
we're
real
all
life.
gonna bump heads. We bump
Yeah.
heads not every other weekend, but we bump heads.
Mhm.
And you know, and it's expected because, but at the end of the day, we're still brothers. We still love each other, and it's a
Absolutely.
family. It's a unit. Because we know in the long run, it's going to pay off even more than what it has already done.
Yeah.
And we know
that's
that we
good.
have a goal, and whatever that goal is, and we stick to it, and we continue to thrive off that.
That's good.
That is
That's
good.
Yes.
Especially being so young. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, you it's hard to find loyalty
Yes.
Yes.
and commitment.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
those are like curse words.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't want to
That
be
loyalty,
committed.
though. That
yeah,
loyalty, yes.
loyalty and commitment, showing up, you know, on time.
Yes.
That's a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means a lot.
Yes, and and all of that is discipline. You know, my uncle still instills of us. You know, you got to practice what you do. You know, and make sure you keep it. You got to go over it. Keep going over it. Keep going over until you get it.
Till you get what you say rehearse.
Yes,
that's what you had said.
Yes,
You said
got
y'all
to.
rehearse.
Yes, you
Because
have
folks
to.
don't like to rehearse these
No.
days. They rehearse for a little
Yeah.
while,
They
and
just
then
get
they
up,
feel
let
like,
the
no,
nerve-
we could do it.
Get up, let the nerve come.
The
Yeah.
nurse got to do all the
The
work.
Come.
And as my uncle will always tell us, know what you're singing about. Know who you're singing about.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
just don't be up there, you know, doing it to do it. You know, do it, give it your all the time.
Yes.
And you know, you want to have some type of substance and leave somebody saying, "Oh, they're different. They're set
Okay.
apart." You know,
That's
Yeah.
good.
and that's always
That's
the goal.
good.
That's always been the
That's
goal.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So how are you all celebrating your 11th anniversary?
Yes, we have an anniversary this Sunday. At I believe I want to say 4:00. I may be wrong, but please don't quote me. Yes, this Sunday at Jameson Temple off Mack and Connors. Pastor Homer Jameson is the pastor. We'll be celebrating 9 years with in-town groups as well, featuring Makita Steen Smith, Pastor Steen Smith, Pastor Steen daughter, Akita
Walter
Steen,
Allenstein?
Walter Allenstein.
Okay, his daughter.
His daughter, yes.
Okay.
Akita Steen Smith in Fire. Sean Coney in Manifested. Joy, also Coco in Redeemed.
Oh, I like Coco.
Yes, Coco's going to be on, and the Untouchable Trumpets as well. Trumpets. They just celebrated their anniversary as well, and we have 3 out of town groups. Souls of Creation from Mississippi. We have Glorified from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I believe.
Shoot.
Yes,
Woo!
and we have
Don't even wear no shoes.
Okay.
Just don't,
Be
don't even put
prepared.
no shoes on.
Be
Just come
prepared.
on.
4 o'clock to end somewhere around 12:30.
No, we're gonna make sure you're out by 8:00 at least. Yeah, and
Okay,
Pastor
so that's
Dale
one
Pettis.
song per group then.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
You give it your good A.
Give us that good age. That's about 10 minutes
Yeah.
apiece at least.
Absolutely, yeah. So we want to make sure that we do that. Make sure we celebrate 11 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
good.
amazing.
That's really good.
That's amazing. What's been the biggest challenge with 11 years?
You have your highs and your lows. You don't get called all the time, you know.
That's true.
Your season is not sometimes
Feast to famine.
there it is.
Feast to famine.
Yeah, so you got to sit there and be patient and just allow God to work.
Yeah.
And work. What they say, work while it's day.
Yeah.
So you got to do those things and just continue to stay ready, and you won't have to get ready.
Get ready.
There it
Right,
is.
So you know,
right,
sometimes those are the challenges, and sometimes you know, when we won the Stellar Award, people sometimes feel like they didn't deserve it, you know, or where did they come from, or you
We
know.
don't care.
Okay,
We don't
and
care.
you can't be mad at favor. You can't be mad
No,
at
No,
God.
it ain't fair.
No,
Come on.
favor's
No,
never been
it's
fair.
not fair. So
It's
you know,
never been
and
fair.
they didn't know that we've been had singing for the amount of time that we had singing.
Exactly, which
And
is
what
why
we-
I wanted to ask
Exactly.
that question,
Mhm.
because people don't know that
Exactly.
it's not like you just popped on the scene.
No.
You know, you've been
Exactly.
doing this, so you
We've
paid
been
some
doing
dues.
it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we're thankful to still to this day to Lavelle, because he introduced us to the industry perspective,
Mhm.
more so the business side of the music industry.
Mhm.
And I believe that's what helped us. You know, we did the work,
Mhm.
but he took it another level, you know, and
Mhm.
took us to where we needed to be. And, you know, I believe that's what God knew. That's what we needed, because, you know, I believe that we're set apart. We're different. You know,
Mhm.
we're not like most quartet groups. You know, we're young. You know, we don't want to be traditionalized in that
Mhm.
category. We want to be set apart where we can reach different people in different ages. Yeah.
See, I was gonna be silly. I ain't gonna be silly.
Go say it.
I was gonna say y'all ain't drinking no granddad and all that.
They don't have those brown liquor days.
Yeah, you know that. Them old school quartet.
Yeah, that's no, they not outside with the cigarette after they.
No.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking
All
about.
of that,
I know what
all
you're
of
thinking.
that.
All of that. No, they're young men for Christ,
For Christ.
right?
Come
Young
on
men
now.
for
Come on,
Christ.
Come on now. Come on.
Absolutely. I am just I'm glad you came on today.
for having me.
I am excited about your future. I'm
Yes.
excited
Yes.
about how God
Yes.
is working things out for you all
Yes.
and how he incubated you for a little while
Mhm.
just to make sure that when you got where you are today that you didn't lose how you got there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That you remember that it was God that brought you through to that point.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think that we have a lot of people out here who don't really understand the core of gospel music in
Mhm.
terms of how it got to where it is today. And a
Right.
lot of people don't know that quartet music kind of kicked it off.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Thank you.
we
I
have
think
the
Larry
blues.
Larry
Yeah.
said quartet music, in my opinion, has been in the one of the main backbones of
Yeah.
gospel,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so being the backbone, like he
Mhm.
was saying, quartet music kicked it off. There were so many more quartet groups that started
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
with
Oh,
people
yeah.
who branched out of, as
Absolutely.
in Shirley Caesar branched out of, as
Quartet,
in
yes.
Dorothy Norwood branched
Albertina
out of.
Walker. Don't
As in
leave Albertina
Walker.
off.
I'm not gonna leave
Absolutely.
Albertina off.
Albertina.
Albertina Walker, all of them, a lot of them, even the Winans really
Marvin
technically
Winans.
was a a quintet,
Commission,
commission.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
of those are groups. They're quartet groups. They might not be singing that
Style.
that
That's-
style,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
it's the same concept. It's the
Absolutely.
same thing. It's just a different package. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
It's all cars, but they just different brands. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
So
yes.
Yeah.
what do you appreciate about the history? What history do you appreciate that brings you to the point where you can be fulfilled in what you're doing right now with music?
Well, honestly,
Like, who are you listening to?
Oh, yeah.
Did you start off learning hymns?
Mhm.
What's your history?
My history learning music, honestly, was Ann Scott and the Heavenly Stars. That's a quartet group. That's a good.
Our station manager over here smiling from ear to ear.
Yes, that's the group my father played for. He was their musical director, and my uncle. And every Sunday they sung. Either I believe that they said the location was Elmwood and R. City Singers Association. Beth. I'm not Beth. I'm sorry. Pastor C.L. Franklin's church.
Okay. New Bethel.
Yes, New Bethel.
Uh-huh.
King Solomon. So there's the places like that, and growing up, I saw my father playing keys and creating the foundation for the group,
Mhm.
and then watching them bring that to life, and I wanted to go to rehearsals. I wanted to, come along with them and sing whatever like that. So that was definitely my upbringing as far as the genre of music, of quartet music. That's what I knew.
Mhm.
And then there were the Canton spirituals. There
Yes.
were
Yeah.
Lee Williams.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, and there was Doc
Yeah.
McKenzie.
Yes.
Now there's Lisa Knowles. There's Tim Rogers, and we've had her on our anniversary several times, and we have a song with her. And and we've been fortunate to do those things. The things that we talked about, we said that we wanted. I've seen them come into fruition. I've seen them come to pass. And,
Mhm.
even for the Stellar Awards, I believe I said in 2012 when we did like a mini biography or whatnot, I said I want a Stellar Award. And look at God, He give us a
There
Stellar
it
Award.
is.
Not when you
Wow.
want it, but when you think you need it, and when He wants you to have it. So
Absolutely.
things like that, and watching people, far as the gospel legends, like such as Evelyn Turntine as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Seeing people like them,
Yeah.
and seeing her, even still to have that legendary status or whatnot, that gives me that push and that thrive to want to be able to have that and be able to say I made an impact on this or made an impact on that, and things like that. I that's what I want out of life. I want to be able to say I made a difference in something.
Yes.
And also Walter Allenstein as well.
Yes.
Those have been inspirations for me, even with not just quartet, but now we have the contemporary. There's the Cardi Cortez, Clarence Gavin, people like that, and I feel like there's a mixture of all compromise or a mixture of all of them. I kind of take heed in or whatnot. And honestly, not even just gospel music, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a young man, so I don't listen to gospel all the time. There's R&B.
What you say? What?
Yes, we
I
all know
don't
that.
either. I don't either.
Come on. So yeah, I believe there's other artists that have helped me, or influenced me to be able to say I want to do things like that, or be impactful.
Like who?
Let's see. I would say my favorite male vocalist is Luther Vandross. As far as the
Nice.
technique, the technique of his voice, you know, and the approach to certain different music. I listen to certain approaches to music. Listening to how their tone is, or how they've carried this or did that. Even with females, there's Anita Baker. I love Anita Baker.
Yeah.
So yeah, Auntie Anita. She I heard she acting
She
up.
out there fighting with Babyface. She out there fighting with Babyface.
Yeah,
she done fired him.
Auntie Nita publicist. Auntie Nita publicist.
Somebody help.
Somebody take that Twitter.
Okay. So yeah, those are people like that, and I can go on and on about names, but I just want to be impactful. You know, I want to be. I want God to use me first and foremost. Let Him be the captain of my life and my heart and my mind, all that. I just want Him to lead me and direct me to where He wants me to be, but to also just be who I am. You know, and just be able to say I did this and did that and made an impact, and and I left a mark here in Detroit.
So coming out of DSA, and Miss Valentine, talk about, because one of the things in your bios is she was a huge influence for you. Let's talk about her for a second.
Yes.
And can you do it without crying?
No, no, I ain't gonna cry.
Okay, tell us about your her influence on you and how that impacted what you did from that point forward.
Yes, Cheryl Valentine, Detroit School of Arts. That's one of my good friends. Oh, my good friend. She's my friend as well, but definitely have been influential to me in several different ways. Also, with being a man, she made sure that we did sit-ups and stuff like in school, so in shape, things like that, and she just taught us a lot of technique, how we should carry ourselves, how we should act as men. Don't walk with just pants hang down, which I knew that already.
You wasn't leaving your daddy's house with your pants hanging down.
No, I had to have a belt on. So yes, Miss Valentine, she just taught us things like that. Just also taught us technique for our singing. You don't have to yell. There's different ways to sing. There's different techniques. But I'm grateful that I'm able to adjust in any type of environment. If I'm in the quartet type of environment, yes, I do that. And then I also with praise and worship, I do praise and worship, and I'm in the music ministry at Greater Grace Temple with Bishop Ellis. So I'm able to go into my praise and worship element, things like that. I'm able to adjust, and that's why I'm grateful for. And I'm able to, not just be limited. In one area.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would you say to other young people in your, coming up that are interested in doing what you're doing right now? What would you give them as a starting point?
First, have a goal. Know what you want to do. Even if you don't know what it is yet, figure out what it is you want to do. Do something that's going to be beneficial to you in the long run. It doesn't have to be music, or if it is music, do something that's going to help grow and help further you in your career and in your talent. Find some training. Find someone to teach you what you don't know, because we all can still learn. We're also learning. I'm still learning. And also just have a connection with God. Even if you don't go to church every Sunday, even if you don't, you're not the Christian or whatnot, have some type of relationship with God, because I feel like He's the one that's able to lead you and direct you, tell you when and tell you yes and tell you no, and those things like that. I just feel like that's the most important, because that's what got me to where I am, and having that faith and having that belief in God and knowing that He can and He will do what He said. So just that relationship with God, know what you want to do, get in school as well. It's good to have a degree in something, that's what we need nowadays, and and that's pretty much
it. Well, we are excited again about your future and what God is going to be doing through you, what He's already done and what He's going to continue to do through your future. And I want to thank you genuinely for being here. We want to make sure that we push your music when it comes out. So please give us the information so that we can definitely let our folks know, our audience know, when you're going to be singing again, when you're going to, if we had known about this anniversary service, we could have put it up there, the flyer or something like that. We could see the mother just came out. It's just that could have put the flyer up there, sugar. But we just thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your testimony. Thank you for sharing your story. I think it's important for people who are in your age range to understand that they still need to be trained. They still have goals, but they have to make sure that they know what they want.
Yes, absolutely.
And that they understand that it doesn't happen overnight. You've been doing this, for a long time. You've been in this game for 11 years, specifically, and you've been doing this, since you were a kid. You've been singing forever. So it's not something that happens overnight. overnight, and you got to hone your craft
Yes.
as you go along. You know, it's not going to just happen. You learn how to sing one way, and then that's it.
No,
You got to keep going. You got to stretch
That's
out,
different
stretch
things.
out,
Yeah.
stretch out. Okay, I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, thank you again. We have enjoyed having him on tonight.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on Soulful Inspirations on WVTC Detroit. I am your girl, Nikki Jones, and we will see y'all.
Deuces.
Deuces.
You've been listeing to Soulful Inspiration. We're so glad you hung out with us today. We're here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on WVTC Detroit. If you'd like to partner with us or sponsor a show with your business, send us an email at tntsoulllc@gmail.com, or you can call us at 313-570-8280. I'm your girl, Nikki Jones.
The views and opinions expressed on the previous broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WVTC Radio Detroit, its advertisers, or affiliates.
Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit. Hey, are you in need of a jingle, a commercial, or have you considered a podcast for your business or ministry? If so, let WVTC Radio Detroit be your choice. And guess what? Location is not a problem. We can pick you up and broadcast you from anywhere. For more information, please go to our website at WVTCDetroit.com or drop us an email at WVTCRadioDetroit@gmail.com. We're waiting to hear from you. Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit. The end of COVID-19 is near.
That's right. Everyone in the community's been doing their part to stay safe, and we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
That doesn't mean that we can let our guard down just yet. We still need to be vigilant and follow the guidelines of the health officials.
Yes, continue to wear your mask, practice good hygiene, and get vaccinated if you haven't already.
Let's focus on the positive. We can finally start planning those trips, family reunions, and events we've all been dreaming of.
We can finally hug our loved ones without fear and enjoy all the things we took for granted before.
So let's celebrate, but do it safely. Let's keep our communities healthy and thriving.
We're here reminding you to keep the faith, stay safe, and let's get ready to live our best lives.
We are WVTC Detroit. What it is. We're gospel music, preaching, teaching, inspiration, encouragement, news, and guest interviews. We are WVTC. We're winning victories through Christ. WVTC Detroit. All up in the community. That's who we are. What it is.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.